I wasn't always this way. For 19 years of my life, I was a victim, bro. I hated my body. Next thing you know, I had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Nick Santonastasso.
Known for his exceptional motivational speaking.
From meeting The Rock to opening for Tony Robbins.
A true inspiration.
I was able to speak on Tony's stage for 4 years. So I did Australia with Tony, I did Singapore with Tony, I did Miami Heat Arena, 15,000 people with Tony.
How many people have you helped?
I got a message from a mom. Her son, a little boy, had no legs and no arms. Out of his own mouth, he said, "I'm walking like Nick does. I want to become a wrestler. I want to become an athlete. I want to change my identity." They got the best doctors, and I went in for an amputation.
We all have a choice. The choice is you can let the outside noise affect you or drive you.
You know, I always tell people on stage, in order to heal it, you have to feel it. It's not a lack of resources that's your problem. It's a lack of being resourceful.
Nick Santonastasso.
Yes.
How are you, my brother?
Great to be here.
You good?
Fired up.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Man, like I was telling you off camera, you've been here for how long now?
I don't even know. Like 11 days, 10 days?
Dubai's embraced you. Majorly.
Incredible.
I've got, you know, one of the benefits of obviously doing a podcast is growing your social network. And I've got friends in so many different social circles that I'm like, you're with them, you're DJing on a yacht last night.
Yes.
Like, you were going crazy.
Yeah, I always try to maximize trips or opportunities, right? I think being in business, one of the greatest things that you could do is take one opportunity and ask yourself, how can I maximize it in 3-4 different ways, right? Content, collaborations, network, relationships, dinners. And so I've always wanted to come to Dubai just to go, right? It's like a hot spot. And also even me, like I put it so far away. Oh, one day I'll be in Dubai, you know? And our buddy who just stepped down from his tech company was like, "Hey, I'm stepping down from my tech company. It's my retirement party." Shout out to Adam. And it was also his birthday, and we were available. And so we booked our Dubai trip. The moment we booked the Dubai trip, I started messaging everybody. "Yo, I'm coming to town. Yo, I'm coming to town. I want to do something. I want to do something." And for those that answered, we got in the rooms.
So wait, you knew Adam before you came to Dubai?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew him from America?
Yeah. So my business partner was one of the first members on the software when it was like an Excel janky spreadsheet, right? And that's where I met my business partner. We all started in Tampa. So Adam knew me 7-8 years ago when I was just a little 20-year-old bodybuilder, you know, that's trying to find my way in life.
So all your life you've been in Tampa, Florida? No,
so I grew up in New Jersey.
Okay.
I grew up in New Jersey.
So New York kid.
Yeah, Jersey kid,
and you're Italian.
I'm Italian, right? So it only fits.
Yeah.
And I actually moved to Florida to actually pursue bodybuilding.
Sure.
You know, and people all the time, "Nick, how you become a bodybuilder? You have no legs." And I'm like, well, most of you skip leg day anyway, right? So I'll fit right in. And so I actually moved from New Jersey to Tampa to pursue bodybuilding and monetize a fitness career.
Sure. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah. So for anybody that doesn't know who you are, who are you?
Yeah, I'm Nick Santonastasso. In 1996, my parents went in for a late ultrasound. They sat them down and they pulled the baby up on the screen, and suddenly the doctor started freaking out. And they were like, "Well, what's going on?" And they said, "Well, from the looks of it, 3 things. It doesn't look like his legs are being developed, doesn't look like his arms are being developed, and his face is messed up." And clearly they lied about my face, right?
They did lie about your face. It's a good-looking face.
They classified me with what we call Hanhart Syndrome. Hanhart Syndrome is a super rare genetic disorder that either leaves the babies with undeveloped limbs or undeveloped organs. So in 1996, I was actually the 12th baby in medical history that they've ever seen this happen to. And out of the 12, 8 babies passed away due to undeveloped organs. Wow. So even before I was born, they told my parents he has a 30% chance to live. And when I was born, they did tests of my organs, and my organs came back 100% healthy, and the only thing that was affected were my limbs. And so I'm in this unicorn body of no legs, one arm, with the middle finger, in case someone pisses me off.
I was actually going to say that. Is it the middle finger?
Yeah, it is.
It is good. How do you give someone the thumbs up?
Yeah. So they don't know whether I'm flipping them off, thumbs up. It's all the same, right?
It's all the same. Do you drive?
Yeah. So I have a car. I have a Rocket Bunny GT86. It's turboed.
Yeah.
It's like a Fast and Furious car.
Yeah.
And I drive, my one hand is on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then I have hand controls that are hooked to the pedals that come up to a lever.
Sure.
And if I push the lever one way, it's acceleration. If I push it in, it's brake. And so I have videos of me like drifting in circles.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's sick.
Yeah, I love cars.
We actually drift here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Jewel told you. They've got a drifting thing here.
Yeah, the track. I want to when I come back. We'll go.
Yeah. When are you back? When are you coming back?
I'm gonna move end of August, September. You know, I'm gonna make the
Permanent.
jump. I'm selling my house, and
Wow.
then I'm gonna make the move here. And I don't know exactly where I'm gonna stay. I think I'm going to get just
I got
like
a couch.
Huh?
I got
You
a
got
couch,
Hey, man, it's probably a really nice couch. Too. I'll sleep right here. But yeah, I'll probably do like a simple place for like 4 or 5 months, build my reputation here,
Yeah.
and then upgrade into whatever I'm gonna upgrade into.
Yeah. So how is it that you make money? Like, what's your day to day?
Yeah, so I make money in a few ways. So we can break these down.
Sure.
So the first way, when I got into entrepreneurship, besides like the fitness stuff, when I started speaking, I got paid for keynote fees, right?
Okay.
So basically I would go in, I would share a motivational story, professional storyteller, and I would get paid money, right? And so my first paid speaking engagement was in 2017. It was a car dealership, and I got paid $1,500 for an hour, and I was like, I'm rich. I ain't never going back, you know?
I ain't never going back.
$1,500, and then you realize, you know, money paradigm, that's not a bunch of money, especially with the day and age. And over a 4 to 5 year span, I was able to grow that speaking fee from $1,500 to now in America $35,000 to $50,000 for an hour, right? Just because of my credibility and my expertise. But so initially, the way that I created income was keynote fees and selling books. Now, as a young guy, because I only know what I know, that business model isn't scalable. I'm still trading time for money. And as you know, like if you're always trading time for money, you never reach a specific level of wealth.
Correct.
And I was on the road about 80% of the year. I was a road warrior, bro. I was on the road, just always traveling, grinding, hustling. And we had the idea that we were going to move to Vegas because if we can move to Vegas, we can build relationships with the hotels and maybe I can have a residency in Vegas and I don't need to fly everybody comes to me. I moved the company to Vegas in February 2020. 3 to 4 weeks before COVID hit. And so COVID hit, and at first, right, 2 weeks, you know, they said it was going to be like 2 weeks. And next thing you know, I had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars gone, like events canceled. Like, no, this is canceled. And I wasn't prepared. It wasn't like I was sitting on a massive amount of cash ready for this drought. And so that was a really scary moment for me. And there was 2 types of individuals during that moment. The first individual was like, I'm going to wait for the world to come back to normal. And they got crushed, right? And then the second individual maybe got scared, but they pivoted fast, right? And so that pain of going almost broke because like we weren't ready for that forced me to become a digital marketer, right? It's like, how can I create offers and how can I serve people from a phone or a laptop at a deeper level where I don't need to be on a physical stage? How can I create a business model that is pandemic proof, that is recession proof, and that is not a location dependent? And so during COVID, I started to learn digital marketing. I started to learn funnel building. I started to learn how to create irresistible offers and coaching courses and masterminds and how to sell them and how to influence people on content, like all that nerdy stuff. But I would never have learned that skill if I didn't get destroyed, if I didn't get punched in the face, because that was like a scary big monster for me. Well, digital marketing and funnel building, like I can't do that, right? And we create all these stories. And so during COVID, I created a digital education company where at first I helped people basically upgrade their psychology, right? Unwire and rewire the brain, heal inner child trauma, release things, change the rules in the brain. And then that evolved into communication, right? People would come up to me after I would speak on stage and they'd be like, can you teach me how to do that? And I'd be like, do what? And I've noticed this about people who are masters is like they don't really see that they're masters, or they're just like, it's like you tying your shoe. It's like you don't need to think about it. You have unconscious competence. And so I was like, what do you mean teach you how to speak? And I started like, no, I don't do that. And then finally I was like, if enough people ask me for something, there's probably something here. And so I created a mentorship and then a mastermind and then very high level one-on-one coaching to help entrepreneurs or businessmen or coaches speak in a transformational way. And so to answer your question in a short form is I initially made money through keynote fees, and now I make money through keynote fees. I create or make money through coaching, and then I also monetize like YouTube and stuff. And who knows? I'm in the season of surrendering and letting the universe play as it will, and I'm sure there's going to be businesses that spawn off relationships like this, and who knows what's in store for us.
Of course. You know, it's funny where we don't know our own strengths, but other people do, right? Like you're thinking, well, really, like what speaking? Why would I come and do speaking? I'm not good at that. But you're thinking, why is everyone coming to me for that?
Yeah.
You know, I must be good at that. Why is that? Why is it that we don't know our own strengths?
Because we can't see ourselves the way other people see us. You know, I was just asked, they were like, if you could have like 3 wishes, what would it be? And the one wish was, I wish you could see me the way I see you.
I wish you could see me the way I see you. Wow.
I wish you could see yourself the way that I see you,
Yeah.
right? It's like we can't see outside the label. We can't see outside the fish tank. That's why it's important to have people around you that see stuff in you. And so I just think we're caught up in our own mind, and we all, like, regardless of what level, what net worth you're at, like, we have times where we struggle with self-worth, or we don't think we're good enough, or we have a season where we don't feel as confident. And that's why it's important to have people around you that are seeing things that you cannot see, right? It's like you can only see what you can see, and you can only hear what you can hear. That's why we should have coaches and mentors. And if your coach doesn't have a coach, you need a new coach, because everybody needs a coach.
Yeah, very true. I did a conference with a guy who's just killing it in life, 30 years old, built a company, $75 million valuation. He says, I've got someone for everything. I've got someone to teach me how to train, PT. I've got someone that organizes my day. I got a spiritual master. I've got a mental this. I got a that. Everything he's got someone for that he pays.
Yeah.
So true.
It's the fastest way to condense time as well, right? Our time and our energy are our 2 most valuable assets. And I've only been able to reach this level of success or status or whatever you want to call it is because there was someone who was a master who gave me the blueprint, right? Who turned around and condensed time for me, gave me the map. And that's for everybody. Every single person watching or listening right now, you've walked a specific path, you've overcome some specific things, and you are most qualified to teach your younger self. So who were you 2 years ago? Who were you 3 years ago, 4 years ago? What did you struggle with? What knowledge did you need? What strategies did you need? You could package and position that and sell it. And people will pay because they pay for speed. The right people.
You know what's funny? When I do a podcast with people that have had near-death misses, near-death, is that how you say it?
Experiences?
Near-death experiences, they live life so differently. Like I had a guy, he was in Mexico, he had a gun to his mouth for 2 days, he was kidnapped, this and that.
Wow.
Ever since that experience, he lives life like he cherishes every minute. While there's so many people that just go through life just without thinking, just running to the grave, pretty much. So do you feel like, given the condition that you've got, do you see life differently from other people?
Yeah, that's a great question. I wasn't always this way, you know? Like, I'm 27 years old. For 19 years of my life, I was a victim, bro. Like, wow. I hated my body. I thought it was the most disgusting thing, the biggest curse my creator could give me. I'll never have a girlfriend. I'll never have a wife. I'll never have relationships. How am I gonna provide as a man? Like, bro, I wasn't in a good spot I've only been on purpose for like 7 years. You know, I'm just getting started here. And so, I do see life differently because I've been in a unique vessel and I have unique challenges, and I don't complain about the things that most people complain about because they're just silly to me. But I fear not living to my full potential, right? Like, I fear, like, at the end of my life, whatever we believe in, there's a version of me that I don't recognize, and creators like, that's who you could have been if you took action. And ideally, it's like when you pass away, that person should be a twin. It should be like, bro, good job, you did it, you took action. I think the worst thing that could happen is like you totally don't recognize that person because you didn't take action. And so I just want to make the most, bro. And I know life is so short. You know, time is not real, right? We can get into that, but it's just like life is so short, and I want to maximize this human experience. And you know, even you talking about asking me the question of how I was born, like sometimes I forget, like, Nick, you had a 30% chance to live. Like, you already won, bro. This is all additional. You're already enough. Like, you're in a Maybach, you're chilling, you're doing a podcast, right? Like, everything's additional. And so I need to ground myself as well. But yeah, I look at life a little bit differently because I've been in a unique situation. And I think that's a big pattern that you see with high achievers is they've had a lot of turmoil, you know?
At the age of 19, you made that switch of not becoming a victim and thriving. What was that?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. So I don't think it was just at 19, but there was a moment. I struggled in middle school and high school. I wanted girls to love me. So let me be, I'm probably one of the most honest, like raw, vulnerable teachers out there. I think a lot of teachers and experts, like they just show the cool parts. And I'm like, yo, like I was a loser or like struggled really bad. And I wanted girls to like me. I wanted validation from girls, right? I wanted to be loved, right? I see my friends with girls. I see people, boyfriends and girlfriends. I just wanted love. And there was a specific moment that was really profound for me where I was on a school bus and there was a girl who was making fun of everyone. And she looked me in my eyes and was like, I don't even have to start. You're already too screwed up anyway. Look at your body.
Fuck.
And it destroyed me, bro. Like, as a 14, 15-year-old kid, like, I don't know how to handle that. I don't even know what that means. And when you understand the brain, based off specific experiences, we start to develop stories or beliefs about who we are and what we're capable of. I tell people most of the time, most of your growth will not come from learning new things. It'll come from unlearning all the BS they taught you. Most of your beliefs aren't yours. You picked them up from someone else. Right? And so I started to believe that girl. I was like, oh, I am disgusting. Okay. You know, and it came from a woman, right? Even worse, right? So it's like, okay, I correlated like, okay, women, I'm disgusting. Girls don't like me. My body's messed up, right? And that became my model of the world. That became my matrix, or whatever you want to call it. And what's pretty interesting, I'm going to get geeky here, right? But your brain is the best detective. And it's always going to try to prove your beliefs right. So if you have a belief that girls don't like you, you're going to find it or you will create it. You will distort the world around you to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
And so everywhere I went, I'd be like, she's making fun of me, or they're laughing at me. They probably weren't even laughing at me, you know, but I created to prove my story right. And so I had these beliefs, and that pain of not being loved and that pain of girls not liking me, or at least me feeling not attractive, was the leverage I needed to be like, yo, you need to step up. You either take your life or step up. Yeah. And I definitely didn't have the moxie or the strength or the will to take my life. I knew that wasn't an option. And so I was like, okay, all right, homeboy, you got no legs and one arm. It ain't going to change. You got to figure out how to enjoy this experience, or else life is going to be miserable. So that pain forced me to start wrestling. My older brother was a wrestler. I always wanted to be like my older brother. In New Jersey, wrestling was a big deal in America.
Greco-Roman?
Yeah, Greco-Roman. Yeah, not freestyle. Yeah, Greco-Roman.
Yeah.
And
I'm Persian.
Yeah.
I did Greco-Roman
Let's
wrestling.
go. Yeah. So
I'll take you right now.
Yeah, let's go.
on.
A little head play, okay. Right? I love that.
I did it too.
Let's go.
It always starts with the head.
Let's go. And oh man, that's probably the first time you head played someone in here, maybe.
A long time. If you like this video, consider subscribing. We do weekly podcasts with experts in every industry to help you find direction and guide you on your way. Now let's get back into it.
So this arm at the time was 5 inches longer than it is now. And my bone was actually growing faster than my skin. And it was super sensitive. And the bottom line is, if I would have hit my arm hard enough, my bone would have came through my skin. So I couldn't do physical activities with it. And I was like, yo, I gotta figure out this wrestling thing. And for me, this was just a problem or just a roadblock, and I needed to figure out a solution. And so I came home one day and I was like, Mom and Dad, like, can we cut my arm off? And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, like, I don't know, like, is there something out there where they can like amputate it? And they're like, why do you want to do this? And I was like, I want to become a wrestler. I want to become an athlete. I want to change my identity, right? Identity is one of the most powerful forces. You will only act in alignment with your identity, right? And you're a one identity from a whole different life. And so I was like, I want to be a wrestler. I want to shift my identity. And they were like, go for it. And so I was 16 years old. They got the best doctors, and I went in for an amputation. And so they lasered 5 inches of the bone off, and they did a skin graft where they pull extra skin from pull it over here so I could beat people up. I remember telling Doc, I'm like, yo, I need to be able to beat someone over the head with this, like when I come out. And so 16 years old, amputated my arm. 17 years old, I was on the wrestling team. I was JV, right? So not a starting lineup. And I had community. I had brotherhood now, right? I was part of a team. I was an athlete. I was a wrestler. girls like that, right? I was feeling good. I started getting some pep in my hop, you know what I'm saying? And I told my boys too, I was like, guys, like, don't hold back on me, destroy me, right? And asking you shall receive, like, they destroyed me. And I lost more than I won. Yeah. And by the time that I was a senior, the 106-pound varsity wrestler had failed out his grades. And guess who was ready? It was me. They're like, all right, he's all we got, you know? And then I was a varsity wrestler. And that shifted my identity. Wow. And then my senior year, I had 2 wins. You know, I beat 2 kids. And I was 2-17. And so that gave me some confidence. And on top of that, bro, like, I know I'm going fast here, but the app Vine came out where you could post 6-second videos. And I created, I crawled around Walmart pretending to be a zombie, and I posted it, and it was the biggest video in the world. And now I'm famous. So all of this happened very quickly, but it was a moment of decision that changed everything.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. So
I love pranks.
Wherever you want to go. But yeah, so I became a wrestler, shifted my identity, started getting in shape, loving myself more. Still struggled. I wasn't perfect, but like it was progress.
I mean, look, as majority of humans have, you know, 2 arms and 2 legs, they still struggle mentally. You know, they're suicide every day, right? So it's something we all go through. But I think, you know how they say high pressure creates diamonds? You've obviously been in a high pressure situation where, you know, it's pressured you and it's put pressure on you mentally even further than other people. And you've had a breakdown, but from every breakdown, you have a breakthrough. Yes. So you had this crazy breakthrough that everybody wants to hear about and incorporate that into their life, right? So it's a blessing. Yes. Honestly, every person is God's creature. Every person on this planet was made to be put on this earth for a purpose, right? We're all God's creatures. We're all beautiful, right? So, and this is your purpose. You know, how many people have you helped not commit suicide? How many people have you helped, you know, come out of depression, right? I'm sure you know more than anyone, right? What's like a memorable one that you remember that someone was struggling with?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there was a specific moment where I got a message from a mom, and she sent me a video, and her son, a little boy, had no legs and no arms, and he was scooting across the floor, his first steps, and out of his own mouth he said, "I'm walking like Nick does." Goosebumps. Damn. And it's a piece of evidence, you know, man, a piece of evidence that like what I was doing was extremely impactful, and I will never know the trickle effect. But fast forward, even today, I had a client message me something, pouring into me, because I teach them and then they use the stuff on me. Yeah. You know, they're like, "There's a pattern here. Would you like me to?" I'm like, "Please," right? Yeah. But he messaged me today. Shout out to Tarek, and he messaged me today, and he said, he's like, "Have you ever reflected that you're one of God's greatest gifts?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, because I was like born like this and I survived birth?" He's like, just think about it within his religion, right? But he was like, just think about it. He's like, God sent his one son, right? For his religion, God sent his one son to be one of the greatest messengers, and he was mocked, he was ridiculed, and he was spit on. And he's like, and then crucified. Yeah. And he's like, there's a reason why you get mocked, you get criticized, people troll you, you get hate comments, because you're one of the greatest messengers. And I was like, thank you. Yeah. You know, thank you. Yeah. Like I received, you know? Yeah, and so, yeah. And honestly, I would say you're not only living, you're thriving. You're not surviving. You're thriving. Yeah. Like the world's yours. You know? Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's crazy, bro. Like to let people know that it's not a lack of resources that's your problem, it's a lack of being resourceful, right? And I think the people who've been through the most turmoil have challenges. They've just been in specific situations that force them to become resourceful. It's like, guys, like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not taller than you, I'm not stronger than you, my brain's not bigger than yours. I have a different set of beliefs and a different psychology, and so I can take action on things, and I can see the world in a different way. You know, my analogy is like, if the world was a video game and we were in town square and you saw me roll up with no legs, one arm, I had the girl, I had the bag full of money and a cool horse, you'd be like, what cheat codes does he have? And it's like, yo, I just have beliefs. I have a specific set of psychology. I see the world in a specific way. And luckily for you, that mental syntax is transferable. We can give you it.
Facts.
Yeah.
Damn. Who's your role model? Who's somebody that you really look up to where you think, Jesus, I wouldn't have been able to make it here without you?
Tony Robbins.
Wow.
Tony Robbins.
Okay.
I always say we stand on the shoulders of giants. And when I first saw Tony in 2017, I was like, wow, he's not speaking, he's facilitating. He's making people cry, he's making people laugh, they're having breakthroughs, they're healing things in the moment. I was like, there's speakers and then there's that. And I was like, that's my standard. So Tony became my standard. People are like, how are you so good at speaking and commanding an audience? Because my standard is Tony, right? And so I've been able to be in the room watching Tony facilitate for probably over 1,000 hours. And he's been speaking since he was 16 years old. He's like 63 or whatever. And so you learn a thing or two from the GOAT.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So that's a main mentor of mine. I would say another mentor of mine, and I'm gonna communicate this in a way where I don't piss people off. Yeah. So I'll pre-frame there. But one of my mentors would be Christ. And I was raised Christian, but I'm not Christian. I believe in energy. I believe in source, right? And my relationship with Christ, whether Christ was real or whether Christ wasn't real, the story of Christ, the foundational thing that I see was he was an offering to the world. And so I want to be an offering to the world, and I want to serve my way to the top. And so my intention, what I take from that is I'm going to build myself into the greatest man, and I'm going to give it to all of you. My human experience isn't only for me. My human experience is for all of you. And if I can help enough people get what they want, I can have anything I want in life. So when I look at that story, whether the guy was real or not, he's a great marketer. We still talk about him, right? But he was an offering. Yeah. And so if people can adopt the mindset of being an offering, you stop taking and you start giving. Right? You start serving. You start finding ways where you can provide massive amount of value. You find ways where you can condense time for people. You find ways where you can build relationships and connect people. And so I'm just an offering to the world. And my belief is that source, creator, whatever you believe in, put me in a unicorn body to be mocked, to be ridiculed, to be stomped on, but to be one of the greatest messengers for the people.
What is your purpose on this planet? What did God put you here for?
I don't even think I know.
You don't know
I
yet?
don't even think I know, bro. I think it's way bigger than what I think it is. Yeah. You know, I think like we have like small minds, and what we think our plan is, the universe or your creator has a way bigger plan for you. Yeah. But I do know my purpose is definitely to shift perspectives and to ground people, to bring people back to wholeness, to bring people back to a beautiful state we call, right? And so I think that's part of my purpose. But I also, on the flip side, believe that none of us really have no idea what's going on. Yeah. We think we do. It's like, oh, the moon and the sun and this and that. It's like, bro, we have no idea. You can act like it, but we have no idea what's going on.
I mean, when people say, oh, what's your plan for 5 years? I'm like, every time I've made a plan, God's laughed and it's gone, yo, the plan I had for you is this. Much better, much bigger, right? So what's the point? You're not at the wheel. Honestly, I find peace knowing I'm not at the wheel. Yeah. Why am I stressing? I'm not at the wheel. And if I'm going through shit, I'm supposed to go through it. There's a learning out of this, right? You either win or you learn. Yep. So
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, Nelson Mandela. Yeah. You said that actually on a speech. Yeah. Because I did my research on you and you said that. And I was like, I didn't know Nelson Mandela says that. And that's one of my favorite things. Yeah. It's like you either win or you fail. You never lose, right? You learn. Yeah. So.
But I love that real quickly. What you said too for people is like the surrender effect, right? Is have intention, have goals, but surrender to the way that it's going to manifest. Yeah. You know, I'm a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I love quantum theory and energy and meditation. And most people, they get turned off by meditation because they truly don't know what it is. But let's just put it this way. We've all had mystical experience happen to us. And I want to invite more magic into my life. And if you want to invite more magic into your life, stop trying to put the known over the unknown. Stop trying to control the outcome. Stop trying to be in the future and be like, oh, this master plan and this is exactly how it is. I want more mystical experience to happen where you're like, yo, I don't know how that happened, but we did it, right? And the way that you invite that into your world is you stay in the present, right? We can only control our input, surrender to how it's going to manifest. Everybody's got a plan, but it never manifests the way you want it to.
But also you can only manifest in the present.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why you must remain in present. I did a podcast with Master Shri. Wow. I love this stuff. Do you know Master Shri?
I know. No, that's amazing.
His name is they call him the yogi with a Lamborghini. He lives in Dubai. When you come back, I will take you to him, and you have to meet him.
I love that.
Okay, because you guys would get along perfectly. Great guy. He said to me, I said to him, you preach manifestation, right? What's the point of manifesting and visualizing if everything's already pre-written? He said, destinies are pre-written. Your destiny isn't written. Destinies are. You're walking down a road. There's a door to your left. There's a gate to your right. There's a door to your right. To your whatever. There's many options. Whatever happens, whatever door you choose you go down, what happens is already been pre-written. So you meet a girl, you get married, whatever. You meet this guy, you become business partners, whatever, right? But it's your decision what door you go down. So you're about to open up the door to Dubai.
Yeah, I am.
Right?
I am.
And your journey in Dubai has already been pre-written.
It has. I love that.
And you're about to open that door.
I love that. Let's go. Bring it on. Bring the blessings.
Listen, and I already know that the city's going to accept you with open arms. They've accepted me. They're such welcoming people, such a welcoming city, country. I just got back from Thailand, right? I told you, didn't I? I was like, hey, I'm in Thailand. I'm going to come back and do it. I couldn't wait to get back. But I remember when I lived in Australia, I was at the airport leaving Thailand, going back to Australia, sad. I gotta go back home.
Yeah.
But man, I was like, get me on that plane. I need to get back to Dubai. Like, I love it here.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for you to come and actually settle down here. I can't wait to see you grow and flourish in the city as well. You're gonna kill it.
I'm excited. And same thing too. It's like, it almost takes the pressure off when you realize you're not in the driver's seat.
Yeah. It
takes
does.
some pressure off, right? Because it's like you, but it's also creator. So you're like tag team in this world, you know? And I know, I've been told that so many times this week of like, yeah, you have a plan in Dubai, but it's way bigger than what you think is going to happen. Like what you think you're going to do in Dubai is small compared to what's actually going to happen, and just let it flow. You know, and I've had magical experiences already while I was here. You know, I was supposed to meet up with Tam
Khan.
Yep. And so we were in contact.
You went to his gym?
Yeah, I did today. But earlier in the week we were like missing each other, and I was at dinner with another incredible person, and who rolls in? Tam with Cosmot for his birthday. And I'm a big fan of Cosmot. So I punched Cosmot today in his stomach. It was fun. But I got the picture with him at the gym. I did some striking there.
Were you at his gym or at his restaurant when they walked in?
I was at a restaurant.
His restaurant?
No.
Just a
random restaurant. Dubai Magic, you know?
Not even his restaurant, because his restaurant's downstairs from the gym.
Yeah. It wasn't even that restaurant.
What restaurant was it?
I couldn't even tell you.
If you like this video, consider subscribing. We do weekly podcasts with experts in every industry to help you find direction and guide you on your way. Now let's get back into it. You drink? You've been getting lit,
here and there.
you?
No. No, here and there.
Okay.
Here and there. I think
you're definitely lit on the turntable.
Sober.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sober.
Ah,
the energy, bro.
It's the energy.
Yeah, just music, fired up. That's another thing too. Is I plan on. You said all these doors, bro. I want to do it all, right?
Yeah.
So one of my plans too is become like a famous DJ over here.
Nice.
Yeah, like I'm gonna learn.
That's
I'm gonna
sick.
learn, and then I'm gonna brand and market. And I'm a businessman, right? But I'm an entertainer, and I love people. I love music, and so I'm like, how can I meet both those needs? And DJing was fun. It's like a video game, and I can facilitate a crowd, and they're gonna love me.
Yeah.
Bro, it was crazy too. Like the guy that I was on the boat with, he did Tate's sound system.
Yes.
And he was like,
his car sound system.
Yeah. He was like, well, if you stay longer, you can spin with Martin Garrix this weekend. I was like, bro.
What?
I was like, I gotta go speak in America. I gotta go to Mexico.
What?
But he's like, whenever you're ready. He's like, we open doors. He's like, whatever you want, bro. It's done.
Bro,
like, what is
that's Dubai. You don't understand. Dubai, everyone's touchable. Everyone's reachable. You can get in touch with anyone you want here.
It's wild.
It's wild. It's just, it's America
What
before
is it?
America became America.
Yeah, what happened?
It's going in that direction of becoming America. Before America was America. Like, America's gone down, okay? Like, I've got friends here from America, and they go, listen, I'm from LA. At this point, LA is just running on its reputation of what it used to be. It's not the same, right? There's homeless people everywhere. There's drug crime. Everything's through the roof. So it's basically America before America was America. But also, here's the thing. You can have your fun here. It's Sin City, right? You can have your fun here, but they've got religion. They're God-fearing people. Even white people that have been living here, they're still doing Ramadan because they want to they connect to a higher power. If you go to Vegas, there's no religion. It's just Sin City. But
well, there is. It's the devil.
Exactly, yeah. But here they've got both.
Yeah.
They've got. Hey, you can have your fun, but you've got to be religious.
It's way classier.
Way classier.
It's a way classier fun, which I've noticed and I love. Right. It's like I stick out, right? And in America, I feel like it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's just toxic, or like people are talking down, or maybe judging. And here, everybody's like, hey, what can I do for you?
Nobody judges you.
No, it's just like everybody's loving. And I'm like, this is great. It's a classier fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
We need to stop talking good about it because the traffic's getting bad. Okay?
This place is terrible. No, just kidding.
Don't get me. So you mentioned Tony Robbins. You've met him a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, so I did world tour.
Didn't he come take a photo with you? Didn't he want a photo with you?
That was The Rock.
That was The Rock.
Light flex, right? So I was in a gym in Vegas. I was actually 2 weeks out from a bodybuilding show, so I was shredded. And I blow up people with my videos. You know, I'm like, yo, look at me, I want to meet. And I stick out like a sore thumb. And I was in a gym in Vegas, and he was there, and his security guard comes up to me. He's like, you're Nick, right? And I was like, not many people look like this, brother. Like I'm him. And he's like, Dwayne wants to meet you. And he brought him over, and he was like, yo, bro, love what you do. Took a picture, posted on his Instagram, got like a few million likes. Shit. So that was that little interaction. Yeah.
So go back to Tony Robbins. Yeah. So you've done a world tour with him.
Yeah, so I was able to speak on Tony's stage for 4 years. Roughly 3 to 4 years. So I did Australia with Tony. I did Singapore with Tony. I did Miami Heat Arena, 15,000 people with Tony. Texas, virtual studio with Tony. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of time on Tony's stage.
Should we video call him?
I wish. I wish I had it like that too.
By the way, he's in Dubai.
He's still here, right? Maybe?
I'm not sure if he's still here or not.
He's probably gone. Yeah, but he spoke a couple days ago. Yeah, isn't that weird? I think it's just a magical moment, like evidence of like, hey, you're in the right spot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like an omen.
Yeah,
it's like an omen.
Yeah.
By the way, that girl, going back to that story about that girl on the bus, she was going through it. Like she was hurt. 100%. She was hurt, man. And at that age,
I didn't know that now.
And
then
you wouldn't know that then.
No.
Because you're young. You're trying to process it.
Yeah.
But now you realize what's going on at her house.
Yeah.
For her to be acting like this.
Yep. Compassion.
Yeah.
It's a big one for me.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food? Bro, the kebabs here.
Oh, yeah?
I love kafta.
Yeah, kafta.
Right? Like kubide, they call it, or
kubide?
kafta.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's another thing, by the way. It's like the food's actual food here.
Yeah,
so
it
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
You're not inflamed, you're not bloated, and all that different type of stuff. But I love Italian food, of course.
Of course.
I don't discriminate. I love all food. Yeah.
Okay. What's a hobby or activity that you enjoy that people wouldn't expect you to enjoy, or people wouldn't expect you to do?
Yeah, video games. So I'm actually extremely good, especially when I was younger, when that's all I was doing was video games.
Okay.
And so with an Xbox controller, I'll have at the desk, there'll be a pillow, and then the controller will sit on the pillow. And then for the right side of the controller, I use my chin.
Yep.
For the triggers, I use this one. And then for the analog stick, I use this one.
Oh, nice.
And then if I push in, it hits the left trigger. So like I was like really good. I was actually a competitive gamer when I was like 12, 13, chubby, fat, Italian boy just gaming. So that's a hobby that people don't know. And then another one is I have a few, my childhood, like inner child Nick, like little boy Nick, his biggest dream was to be singer, rapper, entertainer. And so I have a few songs out on Spotify that people don't even know.
Sick.
Business kind of like distracted me from that, and so like I kind of posted songs and then I stopped. But when I start up, I need to stay consistent because everything needs consistency. But I love music, and I love to express in that way, and I love the DJ now, and I love to learn that stuff. And so I love the music and then the creation. And then now too, like I've been creating, like going back to like my funny videos. So creating like skits.
Oh yeah, nice.
And so I created some skits. I have a video right now on YouTube with YouTube Shorts. It got like 48 million views. Wow. It's going bonkers. Wow. So yeah, that's something that people don't know about me, the video games the music stuff.
Yeah. Are you in a relationship?
As of now, I just left a 5-year relationship. I broke up with my girl. We were together 5 years. I've probably been single now for like 6 or 7 months, and it was one of those things where I felt like I couldn't give her all of me because I'm still building and creating, and I'm always on the road and I'm doing things and I'm in the spotlight. I also think that relationships are a nice puzzle. It's a worthy opponent when it comes to a puzzle, you know, and there's a lot of intricacies of masculine and feminine energy, you know, with the polarity, people's upbringings, all this different type of stuff. And for me, I felt like it was like the frog in boiling water analogy, right? Like if you put a frog in like boiling water, it'll jump out immediately. But if you slowly crank up the temperature, it doesn't realize it. And I think oftentimes in relationships, you look about 3, 4, 5 years in and you're like, who am I?
You lost yourself.
I kind of stopped doing things because I didn't want to make the person feel a specific way. They stopped doing things because they didn't want to make me to feel this way. Maybe your values get jaded, or the boundaries or the lines in the sand get jaded.
Exactly.
And I lost myself for sure. And I felt like it was time for me to separate and come back home to me and build myself to the point of where I can maybe introduce that again. But I'm still having fun, you know, experiencing things. But yeah.
How are you dealing with that? Because even though you started the breakup, even though you left her, it's still hard for you. Did I make the right choice? Did I not? 5 years is a long time. I went through an 8-year relationship breakup.
Yeah.
One of the hardest things any man would go through. How are you dealing with it right now after 5 months?
Yeah, thanks for asking that. It's hard. I know I've made the right decision. The more difficult part, and this may sound bad, but the more difficult part was we had 2 dogs together, and we decided to co-parent the dogs. And then she got into a relationship, was like, you're not seeing the dogs again. And so like basically like I saw my son, he was at dad's house, and then I never saw him again. And I haven't seen him for 6, 7 months. And I dream about it. Oh man, I'm good. I dream about him. I was gonna fight for him. I was gonna sue over him, all these different things. And they asked me on the boat the other day, a gentleman asked me on the boat, he's like, you know what the right decision is. What's the right decision? And I was like, I gotta let it go, man. Like, better life with her, better life with, you know, he'll be cared for more intention. They're not traveling. They don't have the lifestyle that I have. I'm gonna need like a nanny, like, just have them, you know, and that's really difficult. It's been extremely difficult for me. You know, it's like, what do you do? Do I delete all the pictures of the dog? You know, like, it's my boy, man. And so that's been really, that's been really difficult for me.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You know, when my ex-girlfriend, when she left me, we were together 8 years, and people were like, we were dating for 8 years, but we've known each other 12 years, right? And we started dating a little bit, we broke up, went our separate ways, and then dated again. And people were like, man, fuck that bitch. We're like, get rid of her. Who cares about that? And I'm like, you don't understand. I raised this girl. She's like a daughter to me. Like when we started dating, she didn't know how to do a tax return. She didn't have a driver's license. Wow. I taught her everything. So like, I know what you mean. You kind of like, I was like, how do you expect me to give my daughter away? Yeah. Even though that's my girlfriend and all that, but she's like my inner, like in my heart, I'm like, that's my girl. Like I raised her. Yeah. Right? She didn't know anything. So it's hard to give that away. I know what you mean. But bro, it's one of the toughest things men will go through, breakups. It hits men much harder than it hits women. Women are wired differently, but they start mourning a relationship while being in a relationship. While men, it just hits us like a train, like in the face. Yeah. So man, it's tough. I know it's tough, but
I made sure that I wasn't using any substances to soothe, right? Because I think it's easy to like, you know, just like go back to business, right? Like we soothe with business as entrepreneurs. It's like, just start grinding again. So I made sure that I wasn't doing anything, right? Whether that was drinking or overly excessive video games, anything. I just wanted to make sure that I was feeling the emotion. You know, I always tell people on stage, in order to heal it, you have to feel it. Yeah. If you don't feel it, you never heal it. And most people don't feel anything, right? I've noticed here too, it's like, Dubai is incredible. But there's a lot of people that have a bunch of money and they don't feel anything. They're like numb and they need me, so I'm coming, right? But I just wanted to make sure that I was feeling the emotions. And I think that's the juice of life, the contrast, right? Like if we came to Earth and we came to this human experience and everything was certain and you knew exactly what was going to happen and everything was blissful, you would get bored. I think that's why we came down. from Source, right? Because Source is like the state of like blissful, like unconditional love. And we came down here to experience separation.
Yeah. I love that you said go through it, because you have to go through it. If you're not going to go through it, you're going to pay interest on it later and go through it even harder, right? But it's look, you know, I get comfort where it's like, if there's a woman on this planet right now, walking, breathing, alive, right? Not dead, because dead is a different grieving, but alive. And she's not trying everything she can do to be with you, how much more notice or how much more information, like how much more reason do you need that person is not the person for you, right? But it's tough, man, it's tough. And you know, you lose yourself because, you know, let's say you play basketball every Saturday and she goes, oh babe, you're gonna play basketball again? Well, you know, this is my identity, this is what I love to do. Every Saturday I'll do this. Okay, fine. The next time you go, you feel a little bit guilty, right? Yeah. And then the boys are going to be like, hey, boys, why don't we just stop doing this next season? This will be our last season. That's not a bad idea. She's breaking my balls, whatever. That over a long period of time, like you said, the frog theory, that over where he simmers it a little bit, over time, you're going to be like, who am I?
Yeah,
what do I
don't
like?
have anything.
Yeah. When I got into a breakup, she broke up with me. I moved to New York for 6 months. Didn't know anyone in New York.
Yeah.
I was walking the streets, eating chopped cheese from Harlem. Right? That's why I love New York, man. I lived in Gramercy, 18th and 3rd.
Yeah, wow.
And just cruising around, just going to Washington Square Park, you know, what people watching, you know, Washington Square Park. What a place.
Yeah. Some interesting cats.
Yeah, really interesting. So I did that. But I know how hard it is. Now, look, obviously today with technology, you can use your technology to walk properly. Like, is there the technology facilities out there now for you to walk?
Yeah, it's a great question. So when I was 14, I hit my parents with a terrible question of like, why are they walking? You know, I want to do that, you know? And we started looking into prosthetics. And with prosthetics, especially with legs, the more limb you have, the easier it is, right? Because there's more leverage, more to jump onto. And so I only have a couple inches of quad left, like it was an accident. I was born like this, but I only have a couple inches of quad.
I thought you cut maybe more off.
No. And
I hear you're a tripod.
This guy. You would love my dad. I think my dad called me that when I was younger too. So, if you know, you know. Right?
You know. Confirmed.
Let's go.
Confirmed.
Oh my goodness.
That's why he broke up with her. She didn't break up with him.
I love you. So when I was 14, I got prosthetic legs.
Yeah.
And I was also a chubby Italian, like I wasn't in shape. And so they were physically really difficult. And so I gave up on them. And now my intention is, because I'm always training now and I'm in way better shape, is I'd love to come back into that technology and see what they have. You know, like I definitely am open to jumping back into legs and training them. I actually have a client, one of my students, he has one leg and then he has a prosthetic leg, and he was like, bro, like the technology's changed, like check out my leg, you know? And I was like, oh, this is crazy. So I definitely want to jump into that again.
There's a guy, I'm forgetting his name, but when I find his profile, I'm going to send it to you. He lives in Dubai. Big black dude, looks like Kimbo Slice. He doesn't have legs from the top of his knees. He's
French?
Yeah.
He lives in Dubai?
He lives in Dubai.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he's jacked.
Jacked.
We know each other. Well, we messaged before.
Lives in Dubai.
I
They make
didn't know
hills too.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I've met him. Have you seen his legs? Have you seen what he bench presses? Not bench presses, sorry. Have you seen what he squats?
On the legs? No, I haven't seen.
He's got these prosthetics on, and he squats like heavy. The bar's bending completely. I'm thinking if one of these prosthetics give away, what's going to happen? You're just going to fall with the weight on you. But it doesn't. Holds on everything. Yeah. So I've seen it. That's why I've seen it. That's why I asked you.
Bionic Body. I think that's his Instagram. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He lives in Dubai.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I have to link up with him. Hit legs.
He's got like a wife and kids, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Same guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not far from here.
I'll try it out. But I want to squat in Converse.
Yeah, well,
I want to run around town, you know? I want to try it out.
Yeah, because you could jump on that straight away.
Yeah.
So you're open to that?
Yeah, I'm open.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Honestly, I'm being serious with you. Come, like, you got something on your chest, you want to jump on a podcast? Come on my podcast.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you on. All right, listen, I've got so many questions, but we'll leave it for next time. But I would love for you to come back anytime.
Bro, anytime, I'm in.
Because I'll tell you something. What we're talking about, what we've talked about, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's like, I love this stuff. I love this motivational talk. I love this, different ways of seeing life. Especially when I do podcasts with yogis like Master Shri. I love it. It goes on for like so long because I could keep going with you for this.
Yeah.
But I know you're flying in like 6 hours. So I appreciate you fitting this in before you fly out, by the way.
No worries.
But I love this stuff. Like this stuff, I don't know if you could tell. Could you tell I love this stuff?
Yeah, you're dialed in. Yeah.
Like I could keep going with you. I could like bounce it off. Also, I wanted to kind of push the boundaries and just go, what do you think of this theory? But next time we'll do that. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
You planted the seed for part 2.
I know. Now you can't dog me. Now you can't.
No, I'll be here.
You seem like such a nice guy, but he dogs you in like that.
Off the camera, I'm like, this sucks. You know?
Fuck that guy. Appreciate you, my man.
Bro, it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.